It's a shame. Okay, studio, mics are up. Good morning, Lagos. You are welcome as we're about to talk sports inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Folu and Tega Supreme. Good morning.
Morning.
She's adjusting to the cold this morning. It's a bit of a chilly Monday in the studio, we will be very honest. But you look like a sweet young stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know.
Fresh.
It's alright.
Hi, Tega.
It's nice. And she looks super young. Lagos, go up on go up on our live stream right now so you can see the deception she's putting out there for all these small boys now. You have 20-something-year-olds. Yeah, I'm selling you out. You came here pretending to be
16.
I don't understand. It's not right. It's not right. As we accept your comments as well, do know that you can chat with us on different social media platforms. WhatsApp being one of them, 0809-444-0981. Of course, leave a comment on the live stream if you would like, and tweet at us using the hashtag
LockerRoom981.
Thank you very much, Val. All right, our first story, let's talk about the Under-17 AFCON. So after picking the sole ticket from the West Africa zone for CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations, the Nigeria Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick said that the Golden Eaglets will be given adequate preparation so that they can win the tournament in Tanzania next year. He said, for us, we have what we have now is a bunch of players that are truly young and with a bright future. For us in the Federation, we have resolved to treat them like super eagles right from this stage. We want an physiological mood as they grow. We prepared the Eagles for the World Cup in Russia. This is the way we are going to prepare them for Tanzania. We're looking beyond Tanzania. We're looking at the future and time to begin to psych up these kids. Now, Maju Pinnick also said that the end to the tournament in Tanzania.
How interesting. Elections
Beautiful
are coming up.
speech.
Let's just paint a good picture. Elections, training, they all go hand in hand.
Is that what you think?
Look, you can't sell me this kind of thing on a hot Monday morning. The thing is, I appreciate, while they're finally doing something about it, I still have to question because the elections are coming up. Other national teams have been neglected. Only the Super Eagles have really enjoyed, and I mean, it's better late than never. But I'm still going to question the motive behind all this. So now you're telling us that you're going to do your job, so we should applaud you. Congratulations, sir. I still think, regardless of what it is, I still think with the lineup of people that are coming out for the elections, he's still one of the best, which is sad. But that's where we are. But congratulations, it was a tough outing against Ghana. That game ended 1-1 regular time, and then they had to play a horrible penalty shootout where they scored only 4 out of 10 penalties. Nigeria scoring 3. So at the end of the day, the Eaglets did what they needed to do to qualify for Tanzania. Now let's hope that they can do what they need to do to mount a better challenge or put up a better display in Tanzania first and then on the world stage. But congratulations to the boys, they did very well. Let's see how they progress from here.
All right, Lagos. Let's move on to this next story. So, Team Delta made history yesterday.
Ghana child.
Okay. How did they make the history? They won the 4th National Youth Games in Ilorin to make it 4 wins out of 4 competitions. They won the Multi-Sports Youth Development Games for the 3rd time in 2017 after garnering 61 medals made up of 22 gold, 16 silver, and 23 bronze. Team Delta emerged winners of the 4th edition, and building on last year's collections, the state finished with a total of 67 medals made up of 27 gold, 24 silver, and 16 bronze to win the 2018 games. Lagos, which did not participate in the 2nd and 3rd editions, returned in a big way, emerging 2nd after securing a total of 60 medals, 23 gold, 15 silver, and 22 bronze. Team Delta and Ogun were joined 3rd, winning 34 medals, 11 gold, 7 silver, and 16 bronze each. And Akwa Ibom and Abia came 4th and 5th in that order. They didn't even list out the medals for this other one.
There's no need now. They've called 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So that the script will be complete.
Boy.
We just put them there. But what can I say? All the athletes are The best ones are
Yeah.
from Delta State. I can't shout.
Just
It's not that we did this kind of things. It's just that it's our nature to excel.
Wow.
What can we say? Worry no they carry last.
Wow.
Anyways,
Tega, living up to your name, eh?
but congratulations to them. First of all, I have to state though, the facilities for these youth games were appalling. It was the most horrible conditions that they wanted these athletes to live. In fact, they made these athletes live in. I don't know how this is. I know what it is. It is tough for states to host these things. They'll tell you that they don't have budget, they don't have this. So you are going to have to, at the end of the day, hold it in the state that would like to take the responsibility of handing out the cash for that. But those facilities were terrible for the National Youth Games. Be that as it may, the young athletes came out and gave their best. Delta State winning again. I didn't mention it, they said it in the news. And for sporting activities.
Yes.
What state are you from? Oyo State. You didn't even make the list.
Wow, so rude.
See your
It's
life.
okay, we're busy. We're focusing on other things.
By the way, Delta stay here.
We're developing.
Yeah, so what can we say? We came first, Sha. Just no. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. Ferrari's decision to pit him on lap 15 of the Singapore Grand Prix and fit the less durable ultra soft tyre. He stresses that he will always support the team's strategy. Vettel said that sometimes you need to take risks in order to make gains, but you must accept when they don't come off. He said, I believe that we stood in for it and I will always defend the team. I think the decisions we took in the race, the decision to try and be aggressive, if it works, is great. And today it didn't work, and it didn't work by quite a bit. We need to look into that. Inside the car, it's difficult to be on top of everything because you don't see the whole picture. We were aggressive trying to get ahead, taking into account that you have to go through traffic back to bite us as we lost second place. Now, if it doesn't work, it's always easy to criticize afterwards, but we will always defend what we did.
Okay, so when he's owning up to the team's mistake, what of your mistake? I mean, you were supposed to take pole on the day, and then you let Lewis Hamilton drive an absolute mad lap. It was, look, that guy had some voodoo on that thing, because there was no way that Mercedes car in that circuit was supposed to put down that time. And let me tell you how good it was. He couldn't beat it again. It was so good, he couldn't even make it again the second time around. But getting pole was important for Vettel or Hamilton if they were going to win this race, and Hamilton got pole. Now, Ferrari had duty to make it better during the race. Sebastian Vettel came out, jump-started Verstappen, who was in second, overtook him. He was now hunting Hamilton down, but their hand early. Of course, Pirelli had come out to say the different laps. If you're going to do a one changeover strategy, what tires will suit you? Also, soft tires were the fastest, but they were not durable. So if you're going to use the ultra soft tires, you'll be fast, but it may not last you to the end of the race. And Ferrari had to go in early on lap 15 to try and get Vettel on the fastest tire and then get him on a good position on the grid, because Singapore bit it's narrow, it's windy, it's a street circuit. It's in their walls and their turns, like 23 turns everywhere. So if you get in a good track position, and they were trying to do that by putting him on the faster tires and up ahead. Unfortunately, it came back to bite them, because as soon as they did that, Mercedes were now prone to put Hamilton, they changed Hamilton's tires. But it was Red Bull that did a fantastic pit stop. I haven't seen a pit stop that fast, because they did a fantastic stop. Verstappen still didn't get out. He said he forgot to shift his gears, change his gears, and even with that mistake, he still came out in front of on the track. That's how quick their lap was. So yes, Ferrari can complain about it, that yes, or they can defend it right now and say yes, we were trying to be aggressive but it failed. But they've been trying to be aggressive a bit too often, and they failed a bit too much. Now there's a 40-point gap between Vettel and Hamilton, and it's just 6 races left. It's going to get tougher, because one mistake after the other, you start second guessing yourself, and before you know it, you're in the back of the pile like everybody else. Hamilton is just I mean, living his life like it's golden. What else can I say? So, Ferrari, they need to get it right. You have the fast car, and now the strategy is the one that's your problem. I don't know how we're going to work it out.
It seems like Ibrahim Hassan on YouTube actually agrees with you. He said, yes, Hamilton has done it again. Next round. Let's go, Russia.
Okay, let's go for a very quick break. When we come back, we carry on with more conversations. You are listening to The Long Room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine
And Folu.
and Tega Onojaife.
0.1.
I'm so sorry. So that ran beat your Saturday, and I was fine. I was fine though. Then Sunday morning, it was bad.
Sorry.
So I'll just do this and go home immediately.
I think perhaps best. That is a sensible decision.
Sebong. I need it. That thing is cold. Actually. I don't know what it is cold, so I usually have to warm it up before it now acts as cover.
You pay little.
I don't have the power today.
You're not well covered. To avoid this
God, I have a headache.
Axon
Yeah, so my hair is finally going to have to go because it's now straight.
insurance where you choose and pay
Was it curly before?
covers
Yeah,
you.
the first was. If I show you the before and after picture,
Above all,
you will beat me. If I show you the before picture of my hair, yeah.
Take out your car insurance with at Axon Mansard-Auto
And I have till Friday to do it.
Create your own car insurance.
Oh, is that the new woman they chose?
For what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
choose.
What does she do?
Axon
It's an
Mansard.
Oh, not another
Just an
accountant.
One way to live a
Not
top
another
level
accountant. They don't need an accountant. They need an economist.
service plot at
Accountants
Alabado
minds
East.
money. Happen to
Top-notch
met Sule.
amenities, eco-friendly and environment. 20 minutes from the Ikeja airport.
Where was
15
she
minutes
trained?
from the mall. And with a sea of
Sure,
O2.
okay.
When did she go to school? She went to school here.
Prices starting from
She looks a
1.73
little too
million naira.
intelligent.
Sent initial deposits. It's bye-bye to stress. Fairmont
She went to school
Alabado,
here.
the redefined
All
hilltop
her
lifestyle.
education.
Just for you. Call 090
Has she held any international-
4985 or visit propertymartltd.com.
Because people going places live an active life.
Anyway,
they
people say you
need
don't want the one with
reliable
phone,
water to keep them
so-
fresher for longer. So we trust the new
Exactly.
reliable bar that
You don't want the one with
Blended
phone, so
Blue
they
Bar
brought the
is
one with,
expertly blended to keep you fresh all day long.
Bachelor,
Freshness gets
accountant
you
by
further.
profession, Bachelor of Science degree in accounting from ABU, Zaria, then MBA from Ogun State University.
I mean, local.
Yeah. Yes, that's how we feel about you guys. Do stay with us right here talking sports inside the locker room. Of course, we've got messages coming through as well, so we'll go through one or two very quickly. This one is in from Ade, who says, Mr. Pinnick, I beg, do the same for the ladies. Let's stay tent after waxing lyrical about the Eaglets. And Shagun from Ikorodu says, Tega, how many teams will play in the tournament proper if Nigeria is the only team from West Africa?
Then there, you know that there's other parts of Africa.
Yeah.
There's
Don't be
like
angry.
East Africa,
There's a
Central
lot.
Africa.
We're not the whole Africa. It's not just us. While Sharif Oluwaleke Akimbi from Lagos Island says Vettel should stop giving excuses and just concede defeat. It's done and dusted, and I think Hamilton will win his 4th Formula One championship.
No, fifth actually.
Oh, there you go. Come on, get your facts right. Count.
Let's move to this one now. Ahead of the Group B opener at home to PSV on Tuesday, Sergio Busquets and Felipe Coutinho started as substitutes in Saturday's win Sociedad, even if both were needed before the end. Now, Messi, actually, who turned 31 in June, may also need to be preserved if it's to add a 5th Champions League to his collection. Now captain here appears hungrier than ever. In a radio interview, Messi told a radio station earlier this month that we've been knocked out in the quarterfinals 3 seasons in a row, and maybe the last one was the worst of all because of the result and how the match was played. He continues to say, I think we have to aim for that. As a club, as a team, as a collective, we have a spectacular squad and we can do it.
Yes, and what they have now is strength in depth as opposed to last year. and learned his lesson. He was chasing unbeaten record, didn't get the unbeaten record, didn't get Champions League. I don't know what you are doing. But this year he's learned his lesson, so he's going to change and mix a few pieces.
Sorry, just give me a second. I need to correct because I castigated Sharif. It was actually fifth he typed, not fourth. So that was
Okay.
my bad. Sharif, sorry. I've vindicated you. You said, please, follow it was fifth. I typed. So sorry about carrying on.
Anyway, so he Valverde has the opportunity to change his team, mix and match, and then have well preserved players. Now, on Saturday, it was a tough trip. Always going to be a tough trip at Sociedad. Like I said, Real Madrid and Barcelona went to the Basque country.
Yeah.
Only one came out victorious. Real Madrid had to succumb after struggling to score a goal. They couldn't get the win, so they dropped 2 points, and now Barcelona is top of that table. But what Barcelona is going to do different this year is, or differently, Tega, this year, is that they're going to, with the players that they've bought, transfer market, they have enough, I think, to actively chase all 3 titles on all fronts. So let's see how it turns out for them. They face PSV until, if you ask me, I'd say it's an easy trip. But these days, this football, it's not, no trip is easy. Yeah, if you wake up on the wrong side of your bed, you can just fall into the hole. If you doubt me, ask AC Milan.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's keep it moving. Up next, Tottenham boss Mauricio Pochettino is crazy to consider leaving Harry Kane out of his side to face Inter Milan in the Champions League on Tuesday, saying, I think it would be crazy to think different. Yes. He said that when he was asked about the part Harry Kane against Inter at the San Siro. He says, I don't know what you expect from me or what you think my answer should be. He's one of the best strikers in the world. And I don't care that he wasn't great on Saturday. He's going to score goals and he's going to perform in the way that we want and we expect. No problem.
I totally agree. I think this noise about fatigue and all is it's really just noise. Yes, some players do struggle with the number of games that they've had to play, but I don't think that's what Harry Kane's mojo is. He's scored goals, so that's not really what the problem is. I think he's just off rhythm and off kilter, and putting him on the bench is not going to get him to score. A very serious opponent in Inter Milan. Yes, Spalletti hasn't been having a fantastic time in the league, but it doesn't mean that you don't put your best foot forward when in the Champions League. So yes, Harry Kane, I like what Pochettino said. He's going to play, even if he has to come there in a wheelchair. He's going to play. What is wrong with all of you protecting this guy at the expense of Tottenham? And this Harry Kane, you can imagine if he now went to a bigger club like Real Madrid, where you play games quite often. Is this the kind of so people will be making fatigue excuses for him? He has to come out and play. They pay him money. He should play like every other professional player. Yes, on Saturday he didn't do the job, but the rest of the team, in fact, Tottenham came out that game and there was only one player, Lucas Moura, on the pitch, up until the time that Pochettino substituted and brought in Lamela. It was only Lucas Moura. Every single department failed. Liverpool didn't even have to move from gear 1 to gear 2 to beat Tottenham. Like the commentator said, Tottenham players malfunctioned. That's what. So they can recover against Inter Milan and say, you know what, we've had 2 back-to-back losses. Can we now start to get a win? That's what they're going to have to do. Please put it in the back pocket.
So Juventus coach Massimiliano Allegri said winger Douglas Costa faces a fine after he was sent off for spitting against Sassuolo on Sunday, marring a 2-1 Serie A win in which Cristiano Ronaldo actually scored his first goals for the club. It has told reporters, even if he was fouled, these episodes must not happen. We mustn't fall for provocation. The game was winding down. He continues, we had it in the bag, and we stopped playing as a team. Everyone wanted to dribble a bit. Then the other team gets back into the game. Some players get irritated and that sort of thing. It's only right that Costa, is fined. He certainly will be. I was surprised by his reaction. We've suffered a goal, a red card, and a suspension, which will be long.
Yes, I totally agree with that one. First, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored his first 2 goals.
Yeah.
Nothing new there. So
It's Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo. It was always going to calm down and move on. I just pity Valencia because they face Juventus next. So now that he started scoring, he can't stop.
Roll on
Thank you. But I mean, for Douglas Costa, it was the most ridiculous reaction I'd seen. Yeah, I think the guy said something to him. Then he turns around and he's first of all, you've elbowed one person, you've kicked, and then you spit. And so they're going to the spit that VAR reviewed and gave him the red card for.
Yes.
But what it is that they are going to look at that situation, and the punishment might be longer than your regular 3-game ban. So I just want to see how long it is. He's come out to say he's sorry. The blood rushed his head. We accept your apology, but you will serve your punishment. You will take it as it comes. And I understand why Allegri is mad, because he's thinking they're important games. In as much as we came away with a victory against Sassuolo, Sassuolo was the only other unbeaten team in the Serie A. They were tough defensively, and yes, Juventus were able to get 2 goals and then survive the end of the match onslaught by Sassuolo. But we're going to have tough games, and then you go and get yourself suspended, so you are now one option less.
Liability.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
He's not even finding it funny at all at this particular point in time. So I guess Juventus will have to make him pay for that. They're separate from the Serie A. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the messages flooding in. Big T says, Ronaldo. I told you guys he was during the break. He's going to score loads more goals, but I'm guessing not more than 20 to 25 this season. He says.
That's it.
Wenger says Man City won 3-0 without breaking a sweat. The victory was very convincing. The easiest 3-0 defeat I've seen in football.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Well, Adufe David says, I'm happy for Cristiano Ronaldo. I congratulate him for ending, and surely he's getting more goals before the end of this year. I'm also happy for my team, Manchester United.
And Bash from Yaba says Tottenham is in crisis. 2 back-to-back games. It is time to press the panic button. Pochettino is likely to be sacked. This was what Jose was facing after just 2 weeks ago.
It's two different people. Jose Mourinho is the skills that they used to win him is different. Yeah.
And MI from Akoka comments on WhatsApp saying, I didn't see a Liverpool win. I honestly thought that they would take the L, but alas, Harry Kane, we be all right, last.
Ade says, let's get to Ororo. What does that mean? And real with no, I don't think that applies to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on.
Thank you, Ade.
We've got more messages up on the hashtag lockerroom981. Tweets at us, and he says, so last season I took Cristiano Ronaldo for games and 28 shots. It took him 4 games and 28 shots to score his first goal in La Liga. It has taken him exactly 4 games and 28 shots again to open his Juventus account in Serie A. Future generations might need to study this guy as a course in you. Fascinating stuff. Keep those comments coming in. Keep them coming in. And let's see if we can very quickly touch on the story. If you want to make it, Firmino suffered no serious injury to his eye after he was forced off in their 2-1 win against Tottenham at Wembley on Saturday by medical staff at Melwood before any decision is made on whether Firmino will be able to figure in Tuesday evening's Champions League account raised by his club.
Yes, and it's PSG. They had Mbappe suspended, so resting, and Neymar also resting, and then they still managed to win their game, I think, by 4-1. So it's a tough fixture by any standard. Liverpool won. So Firmino is still, according to Klopp, in the squad. They haven't taken him out because somebody poked to me. How I them, warm up and then win. But against PSG, it will be totally different to them.
Quick break. When we come back, it'll be the final few minutes talking sports inside the locker room, because that's when you have to stick around. It's still this.
And Valentine.
KLM Royal Dutch Airlines.
Tega
KLM announces its dream deals. Buy your
I want
tickets
hot
from
tea,
now till the 2nd of
bread,
October 2018
butter,
and
and
enjoy up to
eggs.
25% off in economy and business class cabins. from the 15th of September 2018 to the 10th of April 2019 at www.klm.com.fs or your travel agent. For more destinations,
Sorry.
information calls
Sorry, everybody.
0134.
She says somebody will fall. Not today, Tega, not today.
Eva. This musical.
ARM Engines. Tomorrow is looking good. Are you planning to buy a car?
Are you up to the rigorous process involved in clearing that car?
Or are you going to settle for another used car?
How sure are you about the current condition of the car?
Is the value commensurate to the amount placed on it?
Save yourself the trouble.
Loan autos and logistics services.
People should release me. I'm cold though. Release me.
And foreign use.
We are professionals.
Release me.
Never.
Type of automobiles.
And not my territory.
Repairing and delivering services. Contact us at Plot 13 Olutosin Ajayi Street off Latif Salami Road.
Take a do.
Please call
0701 3500 815 or
0706 664 7565.
send us a mail.
info@throneautos.com. Visit our website.
ThroneAutos.com.
belly.
Throne Autos, your #1 online shop for all vehicles and their spare parts.
Because people going places live an active life,
Oh,
they need
because-
reliable roll-on to keep them fresher for
Yeah, it's
longer.
cold here
So
today.
we trust the new
Yeah.
Dubai Roll-On. The new Dubai range of roll-on is expertly
Don't give me cough. Oh.
You, I'm saying my throat is not itchy because of you.
We're giving person somebody cough.
Guys, itching through just now.
This is Rodus, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
We're in studio. Indeed, we are smooth operators right here, and we're smoothly sliding into the final story for sports inside of the locker room this morning with Valentine
And for Lou,
and Tega Onojaife.
Yeah.
Moving on to our final sports story.
yes,
As
moving
he
on.
smiles at Tega.
I know.
That's
Tega-
just distracted
I like
by
the
her
way-
finest
Yeah,
today.
and the way she said yeah so calmly this morning. Anyway, so Jose Mourinho says Manchester United should have killed the game, in his words, against Watford in the first half of the 2-1 win in the Premier League. In his words, Jose says, "I'm very happy with the points. I'm very happy with something that represents for me the spirit of the team, which is Lukaku's sliding tackle after 50 meters running back to help the team. But I feel a bit frustrated because we had everything in the first half to kill the game. In the beginning of the second half," he continues, "we let the game go down in intensity. We stopped being aggressive with or without the ball. We gave them the chance to score a goal and to give ourselves a difficult match."
Yeah,
Doesn't
so
sound happy.
Mourinho was like, are we blaming Pogba for that chance he missed now? Just call people's names with your chest. Don't be afraid to say Pogba. You missed the chance that you should have used to kill off the game. But it was a good display in the first half. Not what I really expected to see against the Watford side that have been, should I say, pumping themselves up with wins. Win after win, and especially after the one against Tottenham, the side that beat Manchester United. It gave them some extra wind in their sails. Unfortunately, they couldn't ride against Manchester United. And Manchester United, like Jose Mourinho said, could have killed that game off in the first half. But they didn't. And then second half, it became a totally different game, and the struggle just went on. But I hope now that you who have watched Marshall FC, you understand why over and over again he doesn't get to start or he doesn't get to finish a game. It doesn't matter how talented he is, his work ethic is poor. His body language is like he doesn't want to be there. And I don't think in fact, I'll say this: it's not a question of which coach is in charge or which team he plays in. Even if he goes to a team that he claims he absolutely loves, he's still going to put out the same display. You cannot be dropped for club and country and then we'll be blaming the coach of your club. It's not done. So there's something that Marshall is not getting. He needs to get it to his head that talent alone has never helped anybody. You have to put in the work. He didn't do much, especially when he came on the second half. Not looking good at all. Not a player I'd even select for my squad, even on the bench. Very, very poor performance. But Manchester United did the job. They got all 3 points. Let's see how they move on.
All right, and just like that, we've come to the end of Sports Inside the Locker Room. Tega, thank you very much for this morning. We hope you're able to get a bit warmer and just, longer hair.
Fresh, yeah.
I don't like this super young look. You're making me feel older beside you. I don't appreciate it. Coming up next, Lagos final hour of Smooth Breakfast is Lagos Talks 981, and you can guess that we are going to be talking about Kemi Adeosun, the resignation.
Yeah.